Are you lonely? Are you angry about it? Do you desperately yearn for someone to share your secrets with? Do you have questionable moral values? Don't let these losers tell you to hate women for those issues.
I will not administer CPR unless you're a hot female.
The sad truth is that you can only get away with hating women if you're rich. And let's be honest, if you're watching this video, you're probably not. And besides, I have it on very good authority that Andrew Tate is a bottom. And we don't take advice from bottoms, do we? Kia ora guys, gals and MB pals, I'm Alistair Wonderland, your favourite Kiwi trans girl, and we all get a bit lonely sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that, it happens to the best of us. Some people, however, end up dealing with it in entirely the wrong way. I'm talking about these guys. Incels, neckbeards, whatever you want to call them. Or whatever they tend to call themselves. And if you're one of these people, I mean you no harm or insult, and I hope you'll stick around and hear what I have to say, because it could well change your life. Let's start with a quick introduction. What is an incel? Time to consult the Oxford English Dictionary. Incel, short for involuntary celibate. Often built like a Discord mod, probably uses Reddit, gets no bitches, says the hard R while being whiter than Wonder Bread, smells like Axe body spray and or BO, plays COD, and makes overused I identify as an attack helicopter jokes. Has never felt the touch of another woman except that of his mother when she handed him snackies as a child. Whoa. I'm trying to be like at least a little bit nice here, but Urban Dictionary really takes no prisoners. Abbreviated term for the compound involuntary celibate. In Darwinian terms, a person deemed least fit to reproduce. But basically, the true meaning of incel is someone who self-identifies as an involuntary celibate, meaning that they are having no luck finding a sexual or romantic partner. These folks generally struggle with some self-esteem issues and end up tumbling way down into a very hateful way of thinking. Which leads us onto the modern meaning of incel. As incels in modern diction have become known more as a group of people or as an identifier of people that hate women because they won't provide them with sex. By all means, a stunted worldview. Let's look at some examples. Now, pretty much all incel communities get banned, so we're gonna have to go back in time a little bit to January 22nd of 2017 and r/incels on Reddit. Now, it's on the Wayback Machine, which means it's not entirely functional, but we can read the titles of the posts. The worst experience as an incel is not the loneliness or the lack of sex, it's getting overshadowed by close friends when you are in the same environment. It's seeing other guys get signs of interest while you are invisible. It's a little bit, but I'm not here to judge. A girl smiled at me today when I passed her on a walk. That's a win. What happens when you don't have a Chad-sized cock? Okay, now I am judging. That is an actual swastika in your user flare. Virginity is my superpower. Even women with massive facial tumors can get lots of messages on dating sites. Now you see, this here I think is a perfect example of the incel mindset. Is this comment clearly indicates that this user has a belief that someone like this doesn't deserve attention and love. Do young females read books a lot? Don't call them females. Would you want one loving girlfriend that you would marry, or Chad's magnetic powers that draw girls to him and never having to go 2 days without intercourse? Is this really what people think about? Small dick cells, this is your only hope. If you're an incel and you're a white dude, it's very simple, go to the Philippines. It's not good, is it? So, how to fix the issue, you may ask? Well, most scholars and theorists would say that it is entirely within one's own willpower to change their nature or their way of thinking, if only they had the wits and guile to access said willpower in the first place. You see, most of the time, these incels are not interested in changing, and therein lies the problem. As truthfully, hating someone or another group of people may well feel cathartic, and it may even give an incel a rare sense of belonging among those with similar ideas. This is unfortunately unfortunately why things like racism, homophobia, transphobia, etc. still exist in today's day and age, despite benefiting literally no one. Ah yes, let me conveniently scapegoat this innocent person so that I don't have to confront my own inadequacy. But that's what the scholars and theorists would say. What would I say about fixing the issue of incel? Well, I reckon I have a solution if you'll hear me out. To put it simply, I think these people that confine themselves to being an involuntary celibate are not thinking big enough. They need to take off the blinkers and open up their field of view. Think outside the box. Look at more drastic solutions to the problem. If you encounter a brick wall, don't punch it. Come back with a digger. So to the incel I say, your issue is that there is no girlfriend in the equation. But what if I told you there could be? For no more than the cost of cracking a few eggs. What is this foul magic I speak of? Could it be a solution to your problems? Yes, but a radical one. A path that in taking you will have to sacrifice your current self in order for a new beauty to be born, rising like a phoenix from the fetid ashes of intolerance. What say you, incel? No bitches? Weak! Introduce one. Become the bitch. Become the girl of your dreams. It's as easy as a little blue pill and a bit of patience. Never touched a boob? Well, would you believe this will fix that too? And besides, who needs pussy? Simply surrender to the overwhelming might of girl cock. What I'm getting at here is that I think all incels should become girls. I'm not saying permanently, but I'm saying they should try it. Nothing that can't be reversed, no harm done. Now, hold your pitchforks and torches, let me explain. Let me explain what I'm getting at here. There are a few reasons why I think this would be a good idea. Let's focus first off on the good of the world. If a large percentage of these women-hating peoples got to experience what it was like to be a woman, don't you think they would be more likely to empathize with the struggle, understand the other side a little bit? They would become more tolerant, perhaps not immediately, but after a little while. Next, think of the sake of the incel. Being a woman isn't for everyone, but it is for some, and if even 1 out of those 10 incels ends up enjoying being a woman, surely that makes up for the cost. Isn't that a win? Wouldn't that improve their life if they got to discover a new version of themselves that they could live as more comfortably? And those that find they don't enjoy it can just go back. It's not like any of this is irreversible. You don't have to start taking hormones immediately. Add to that, the moment you become a trans girl, a whole new world of dating opportunities opens up for you. And so in truth, if an incel does become a girl and given enough time for them to mellow out, they're more likely to get a girlfriend as well. They may end up with an actual girlfriend. How about that, huh? It is for these reasons that I think turning all of the incels into trans girls would be a net benefit for humanity. It is a radical approach, but I think the results will speak for themselves. Now, of course, I don't expect the trans community to welcome a bunch of incel arrivals with open arms, but for the sake of humanity, I believe we are a good enough people to take one for the team. Look at this with an open mind and keep them at arm's length until they have proven themselves changed. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. I've always found it easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, so I really hope you're on board because I have already started dropping the chemicals.